I spent 45 minutes that morning explaining to Lily why today would be special. Grandpa's house has a big backyard, I told my 7-year-old as I loaded the birthday cake into the car. Your friends from school are coming. We'll have games and presents and this beautiful cake. The cake had cost $120, unicorn-themed, 3 tiers, edible glitter. Lily had pointed to it in the bakery window 3 weeks ago, and I'd saved up to make it happen. Will Grandpa's wife be nice today? Lily asked quietly. That was the question, wasn't it? My father's wife, Margaret, had a pattern of making my daughter feel unwelcome. Small comments, deliberate oversights. A consistent message that Lily didn't quite belong in her house. It's your birthday, I said, hoping that would matter. Everyone's nice on birthdays. We arrived at my father's house at noon. The party was supposed to start at 1. I needed time to set up decorations, arrange the food table, and make sure everything was perfect. My father opened the door, his smile warm but strained in that way I'd come to recognize. There's the birthday girl. Come give Grandpa a hug. Margaret appeared behind him, her eyes immediately going to the cake box I carried. Oh, he brought a cake. It's Lily's birthday cake, the one she picked out. I see. Well, we'll figure out where to put it. Her tone suggested the cake was an inconvenience rather than the centerpiece of a child's birthday party. Inside, I noticed immediately that Margaret's 2 children, Tyler and Emma, still had decorations up from Emma's birthday party last month, streamers in her favorite colors, a professional banner with her name in glitter, matching balloon arrangements. Their parties always got the full treatment: professional photography, themed entertainment, custom party favors. Lily's party had none of that. I was providing everything myself on a limited budget, trying to create magic through effort rather than money. Where should I set up? I asked, carrying bags of decorations and party supplies. The kitchen table, I suppose. Margaret was already walking away, uninterested in the birthday of a child she'd never accepted as family. I spent the next 40 minutes transforming the space, working quietly and efficiently. Balloons in purple and pink, Lily's favorite colors. Streamers creating a canopy effect over the dining area. A birthday banner I'd made myself using poster board and markers, spending 3 hours getting the letters perfect. The dining table became a proper party setup with coordinating plates, napkins with unicorns, cups with glitter, and the beautiful unicorn cake as the centerpiece, its edible glitter catching the afternoon light. Lily's friends started arriving at 1. 6 children from her 2nd grade class, excited and loud the way 7-year-olds should be. They ran into the backyard while I stayed in the kitchen, making sure everything was ready for cake and presents. That's when Margaret walked in. She looked at the setup, the cake, the decorations filling her kitchen and dining room. Her expression hardened. This is too much, she said flatly. Too much? You've taken over my entire kitchen, my house, for this party. It's Lily's birthday party. You said we could have it here. I said you could use the backyard, not redecorate my house. She moved toward the cake, and something in her posture made my stomach drop. Margaret, please don't. She picked up the cake box and walked to the large trash can by the back door, opened it, dropped the entire cake inside. For a moment, I couldn't process what I'd just witnessed. $120. 3 weeks of Lily's excitement. Hours of party planning. Gone. In a trash can. Only my kids get parties here, Margaret said, rushing her hands together like she'd just taken out routine garbage. This is my house. My space. Your daughter doesn't get to take it over. My father walked in holding his phone, clearly having filmed the whole thing. He was laughing, actually laughing, as he watched the video playback. Did you get it? Margaret asked him. Got the whole thing. Your face when you dropped it. He was still chuckling, as if destroying a child's birthday cake was entertainment. I stood there frozen, watching my father enjoy footage of his wife's cruelty. You should clean up these decorations, Margaret added. Take them down. We're having dinner here later. I heard Lily calling from the backyard, asking when we'd have cake. Her friends were singing happy birthday, expecting the unicorn cake she'd been talking about for weeks. We're leaving, I said quietly. What? We're leaving. Lily, come here please. My daughter appeared in the doorway, confused. But we haven't had cake yet. We're going to have cake somewhere else. Say goodbye to your friends. But, now Lily. I packed up everything in silence. The decorations, the presents, the party supplies. My father stood there holding his phone, Margaret beside him, both watching me with expressions that mixed triumph and surprise. They'd expected a fight. They'd expected tears or anger. I gave them nothing. Lily cried in the car. Her friends stood in the driveway, confused about why the birthday party was suddenly ending. I drove to a nearby park, called the parents to redirect them, bought a grocery store cake, and salvaged what I could of my daughter's birthday. But something else was happening in my mind. A calm, cold calculation. 4 weeks earlier, I'd received an alert from a professional contact. I worked as a portfolio manager for a real estate investment firm. Part of my job involved tracking mortgage sales, properties coming to market, and investment opportunities. The alert had been specific. My father's mortgage was being sold by First National Bank as part of a routine portfolio adjustment. The bank was offloading several mortgages to investors. My father's was one of them. I bought it. $250,000 to purchase a mortgage with a remaining balance of $280,000. Standard discount for a cash purchase. The transaction had gone through my company's LLC, anonymous and legal. My father had received notification that his mortgage servicer was changing, nothing unusual. He had no idea who bought it. What I'd also discovered during my due diligence was that my father was 42 days delinquent on his property tax payment, $3,200 owed to the county. Under the terms of his mortgage, property taxes had to remain current. Failure to pay was considered a default that gave the mortgage holder the right to call the full loan. That evening, after Lily was in bed, I drafted the notice. The letter went out Monday morning from my company's LLC to David Morrison regarding the property at 4782 Maple Street. Official, legal, unemotional. Dear borrower, you are hereby notified that you are in default of your mortgage agreement dated March 15, 2018. Specifically, property taxes on the subject property are delinquent by 42 days, constituting a material breach of Section 7.3 of your mortgage contract. Under the acceleration clause, Section 12.4, the full remaining balance of $280,000 is immediately due and payable. You have 30 days from receipt of this notice to cure the default by paying the full amount owed or face foreclosure proceedings. My father called me 3 days later, panic in his voice. Claire, something's wrong with my mortgage. I got this crazy letter saying I owe the entire balance. Some investment company bought my loan, and now they're saying I have to pay everything in 30 days. This has to be a mistake. Did you pay your property taxes? What? I don't know. Margaret handles that stuff. What does that have to do with anything? Your mortgage requires current property taxes. If they're delinquent, you're in default. The mortgage holder can call the full loan. But that's insane. I can't pay $280,000 in 30 days. No one can do that. Then you should probably talk to an attorney. Claire, I need help. Can you look at this? You work in real estate finance. Maybe you can tell me if this is legal. It's legal, Dad. Acceleration clauses are standard. If you're in default, the lender can demand full payment. Who even bought my mortgage? This LLC, Clearview Holdings. I've never heard of them. Why would they target me specifically? Mortgages get sold all the time. It's business. This doesn't feel like business. This feels personal. I said nothing. Claire, I'm asking you for help. I could lose my house. Maybe you should have thought about that before you filmed yourself laughing while your wife threw my daughter's birthday cake in the trash. Silence on the line. Long, heavy silence. That's what this is about? A birthday cake? No, Dad. It's about you standing there with your phone, recording Margaret's cruelty, laughing about it. It's about you letting her tell me that only her kids matter in your house. It's about years of you choosing her ego over your granddaughter's feelings. Claire, please. I'm sorry about the cake. I'll buy Lily 10 cakes. I'll apologize. Just help me fix this mortgage situation. I can't help you. Only the mortgage holder can release you from the acceleration clause. You need to negotiate with Clearview Holdings. Who are they? How do I even contact them? There's contact information on the notice. Good luck, Dad. I hung up. Over the next 3 weeks, my father tried everything. He called the LLC repeatedly, reaching only an answering service that took messages. He tried to refinance, but his credit score wasn't strong enough and his debt-to-income ratio was too high. He went to 3 different banks. All of them declined. He couldn't raise $280,000. Margaret called me next, her voice shaking with anger and fear. You need to tell your father's mortgage company to back off. This is harassment. We have rights. You have the right to pay your debt or face foreclosure. That's how mortgages work. You work in this industry. You must know people. Can't you make some calls? I don't interfere with business transactions. This is going to destroy us. We'll lose everything. Only your kids get to live there, right? That's what you said. Well, it turns out none of your kids own that house. The mortgage holder does. What are you talking about? Nothing. Just something to think about while you're packing. She hung up on me. The 30 days expired. My company's attorney filed foreclosure proceedings. The court notice gave my father 60 days to vacate the property. That's when he showed up at my office. Security called up first. There's a David Morrison here to see you. Says he's your father. He seems upset. Send him up. My father looked terrible. He'd aged a decade in 4 weeks. His clothes were rumpled, his face drawn. Clearview Holdings, he said as soon as he entered my office. That's your company. It's one of the LLCs we use for investment properties. You bought my mortgage. You're foreclosing on me. You're in default. I'm exercising my legal rights as the mortgage holder. Over a birthday cake. Over 42 days of delinquent property taxes that you failed to pay, putting you in breach of your mortgage agreement. The cake was just the moment I stopped caring whether you kept your house. Claire, you can't do this. I already did it. The foreclosure is proceeding. You have 53 days to vacate. Where are we supposed to go? That's not my concern. You'll figure it out the same way every other person facing foreclosure figures it out. You'll find a rental, downsize, adjust your lifestyle. Margaret's kids will have to change schools. We'll lose everything we've built. Only her kids matter, remember? I'm sure they'll be fine. My father sank into the chair across from my desk. I made a mistake. You made many mistakes. You married someone who treats your granddaughter like garbage. You stood by while she threw away Lily's birthday cake. You filmed it and laughed. Those weren't mistakes. Those were choices. I'm sorry. That's not enough. What do you want from me? Nothing. I don't want anything from you anymore. I wanted a father who would protect his granddaughter. I wanted you to stand up to Margaret when she was cruel. I wanted you to choose family over keeping your wife happy, but you didn't do any of those things. So now I'm choosing to protect my daughter by removing her from your toxic environment. By taking my house. You never owned the house, Dad. The bank owned it. Now I own it. You just lived there while making payments. And since you couldn't even keep up with the property taxes, you don't get to live there anymore. This is revenge. No, this is consequence. You taught Lily that she doesn't matter in your house. I'm teaching you that it was never your house to begin with. The foreclosure completed in 78 days. My father and Margaret moved into a 2-bedroom apartment across town. My company kept the house, planning to renovate and rent it out. Margaret left my father 6 months later, unable to forgive him for the financial ruin she believed he brought on them. She never knew that the faceless investment company that took their house was run by the stepdaughter she'd spent years dismissing. My father tried to rebuild a relationship with Lily. I allowed supervised visits, brief and structured. He brought her gifts, apologized repeatedly, tried to explain that adults sometimes make terrible mistakes. Lily listened politely but remained distant. She'd learned something important at 7 years old. People show you who they are through their actions. Her grandfather had shown her she didn't matter enough to protect. That lesson stayed with her. As for me, I kept the video, the one my father had recorded of himself laughing while Margaret threw away Lily's cake. I didn't post it online or show it to family members. I didn't need to. I just kept it as a reminder of exactly why I'd bought that mortgage, why I'd called the loan, why I'd taken his house. Only Margaret's kids got parties there. Now none of them got anything there. Sometimes justice isn't loud or public. Sometimes it's quiet, legal, and absolutely devastating. I made a good return on the property investment, but the real return was watching my father understand, finally, that actions have consequences. Even the ones you film yourself laughing about.